Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's March 17th. We're out here trying to do a whole lot of planting, get these plants in the ground. Now I've got these nice little, in fact some of these have got two. I'm just leaving them. I'm not going to be too concerned with them. But squash, these are crooknecks. I've got some straight and some zucchinis. But what I'm doing this year, I'm doing a little bit different. I want you to see that you can put these in kind of tight. When you have real fertile soil, when you're really taking care of the moisture and stuff like that, you can put them in kind of tight. Now you might get blight, a lot of people say because they're too close, but it's easy enough to treat them. If you're trying to grow a bunch of squash, say you want to can some, well, and you've got a limited space, you might have to put them in a little bit tighter. But what I'm going to do right here is show you how I'm doing this. Now this year I'm doing a little bit different. What I've taken, I'm putting a quarter cup of bone meal off in these holes. I had listened to another YouTube channel, and he had talked about he used to have problems with squash bugs and stuff, but he started taking and putting a lot of phosphate around them. And I don't know, he'd heard that from someone, and anyway he put phosphate around it, and that heavier amount of phosphate, which phosphate is what is the nutrient that the plant uses for taking and blooming and setting fruit. So you've got to have a certain amount, otherwise you're not going to have a good fruit set. Another thing is these plants here, these have only been in these pots, these cell trays, for 17 days. So I just did it early enough that I could get a little jump start. I could have possibly put these out, but I would have had to put row cover on them because we had a few nights it was kind of cold for them, and hopefully they're all gone. But if they aren't, I'll just have to break out the row cover and put some on it. I don't really like to put row cover on squash because it makes it limp down. It keeps too much moisture, and you're inciting that problem that you don't want, which will be blight. Which normally that's not a problem until you start getting a little further in the season. But anyway, I thought I might show you this, and hopefully you can follow along and see how these do. I'm hoping that I have a better crop of squash this year. Last year we had we did it about 3 times, and all 3 times we had failures with our squash not making. And we did have squash bugs. The squash wasn't planted in the same spot as it had been before. You know, everybody's got these things to say which might give you a better chance of you know, it not having to deal with those pests. But I'm going to tell you, if the pests are in your garden, and we've got a big garden, even if you plant it 50 foot away, they're going to find it, and then you're going to have them back there in that area. But anyway, I hope this little video gives you a little idea. You may want to try the phosphate, see how it does as far as if you have a problem with squash bugs. And of course, if you aren't subscribed, you want to see more of these little tips, just hit that subscribe, hit the bell, and of course give it a big thumbs up. Happy gardening.